action figure enthusiasts out there. JC here, and welcome to a Wednesday edition of TNInews Live. And we've got a lot to cover today. We've got new McFarlane reveals. They just had the McFarlane Toys Show, episode 4, with new reveals. Plus, we got a bunch of McFarlane pre-orders this morning, so we're going to go over all of that. We got kind of a oops reveal from Hasbro for one of the Fantastic Four First Step figures. Apparently somebody screwed up and listed the Flame On Human Torch figure, which was just long enough for people to grab all the images of it and post it online. So we'll talk about that. I already told you guys what was going to be in that wave, which the Hasbro Pulse listing confirmed that for us. And again, I'll go over that again for those of you who might not have been watching previous videos. Plus, we'll talk a little bit more about what else we can expect from tomorrow's Marvel Legend live stream. Hasbro has teased something for that as well. So, again, we've got a lot to go over today, but let's just do a quick roll call and see who is in the house here. So, I see John was here. What's up? Good to see you, my friend. Austin is also here. Happy Wednesday to you. Navin, Art. I assume the J is silent, but McFarlane is a scam. Why forceful? Yeah. I can tell you I'm pretty frustrated with some of the stuff McFarlane's been doing with their platinums and their exclusives that aren't exclusives. But again, we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Zim is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Felix here. Good to see you. We've got Figure Fury. Good to see action figure enthusiasts members in the house, which just to update you on that. Last time I checked earlier today, we were up to 54 action figure enthusiast members. So we've got 6 more to go before we hit 60, and 60 is the magic number for our next contest giveaway for $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. So as soon as we hit that 60 mark, in the next live stream following that, we will do a contest giveaway. So maybe next week. I don't know. We'll have to see. Judge Dreads is in the house. Good to see you. I was just in the McFarlane Live. They just talking. We did get some reveals though, so again, we got a lot to go over there. Mr. Allmine's in the house. What's up? The Gray Ghost, $35 for Superman figures. Yeah, not liking the prices. Sup? Raul, I believe one of our newer action figure enthusiast members there, Mr. Fuller. So thank you for going that little extra mile. Seeing Brock finally caught alive again. I'd be at work most of the time. Glad to have you here, my friend. Max Zombie's in the house. Looks like, yeah, we definitely got a full house here. Davey Sock Rocker's here. Someone at Hasbro's in trouble. I got to be honest with you. It makes me like, who the hell even find something like that? I mean, who just happened? Because I had to do a search once I started hearing people saying it was on Hasbro Pulse. I had to go and I did a search. In the search, I did Fantastic Four First Steps on the Human Torch figure, but it wasn't just there on their landing page on their website. So somebody had to really be hunting around for it to find it. So I'm like, how does somebody actually find that? Who's actually sitting around all day on Hasbro Pulse just searching for something to slip out like that? And I don't know who the first person was to discover it. And it didn't last very long. The listing's already been pulled. But again, not before everyone, including Marvelous News, was able to grab images. So since we started there, or since we've already talked about that, let us segue into that. So again, so I told you, was it last week, that, and these are going up for pre-order. This wave of Fantastic Four First Step figures are going up for pre-order this coming Friday. So we've got the live stream tomorrow where these will be officially revealed. And then we've got the pre-orders on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. These should be available everywhere. I don't know. I didn't see the price on Hasbro Pulse, so I don't know what these are going to be priced at. If they're going to be at $30, I don't know. But as I told you last week, this wave is a 6-figure wave, and it does not look like there's a Build-A-Figure as I suspected. We've got two Johnny Storm figures. This is the Flame On version that got listed, full on flame effect with the translucents, got all the lining and the costume, which translates pretty well here, which is in keeping with the original comics. Doesn't really have like a ton of accessories. You get an extra pair of hands. You've got the flame pieces, which look like are attached to the figure. Those might be removable. I don't know. But again, you've got the flame on Johnny Storm, Human Torch, and then you'll have the human Johnny Storm, just in his costume as well. Then we have, of course, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, and Ben Grimm, the Thing, and then the final figure in the wave will be the female Silver Surfer from the movie. So those are your 6 figures in this wave. Again, this is a pre-order. This pre-order goes up this coming Friday officially. Here's a look at the packaging, with the logo from the movie and everything. So again, these are definitely something that will be talked about during tomorrow's live stream. Which we pretty much all knew anyway. And again, if you watch my videos on any regular basis, you already knew even before today the 6 figures that were going to be in this wave. All right. Now, speaking of tomorrow's live stream, so Hasbro threw out a teaser today. So, and this one you had to have like kind of an eagle eye. So this went up on their Instagram stories, saying, "Don't forget to tune in to Marvel Legends fan stream." But then you'll notice down here at the bottom, almost kind of camouflaged in with this flooring, whatever you want to call those, are action figure feet. So this one here on my left is Wolverine. You can definitely tell that's a Wolverine figure. And then this one over here is a little harder to tell, but it looks like it's Silver Samurai, which if you go look at the Silver Samurai that was released on the X-Men retro card back a while back, you'll see these same kind of little circles on the boots. So it seems pretty obvious this is a Silver Samurai. So what is that teasing? Well, this likely is going to be one of the 2-packs that is in the Marvel, what everyone is calling the Marvel versus Capcom assortment of figures that are supposed to be coming out this year. So the reason why it's technically not dubbed Marvel versus Capcom, as I've said before, I don't think you're going to see Marvel versus Capcom anywhere on the packaging. Most of these figures don't even fall under, from what I've seen, don't even fall under the Gamerverse header. They're just under this year's Marvel Legends Anniversary banner. So one of those listings that had been rumored is Wolverine versus Silver Samurai 2-pack. So obviously that's, to me, is what they're teasing. So I feel pretty confident we will see that revealed tomorrow. Now, whether they show everything, I don't know. They might just show 1 or 2 things. I really was not expecting them to start showing these off until San Diego Comic-Con. I was not really expecting them to show these during the live stream tomorrow. I knew they were coming, but I'm kind of surprised that they're going to be focusing on these tomorrow during the live stream. But as it is, definitely at least that 2-pack seems pretty much a given. Now, the other stuff, again, falling under the anniversary banner, is Thanos versus Psylocke. And I don't know, will these just be straight up reissues? Will they be newly tooled figures? My guess is it'll have some new tooling on the figures, but most will not be completely new figures. That's just my guess. I have absolutely no idea, except for the Shuma Gorath, which I believe will be named our Gargantos. We've talked about that before, which is basically, due to a trademark issue with the Shuma Gorath name, but essentially, what we see in the Marvel versus Capcom, the smaller, version that we see in that game, I believe, is what the figure will be based on. But that's really the only figure that we've seen, at least rumored, that is new, that we've never gotten before. Everything else we've gotten before. So Thanos versus Psylocke 2-pack. Will it be a completely new Psylocke figure? I know some people are hoping maybe on the newer female body. that seems like a good possibility to me. I don't know. As far as Thanos goes, will that be a completely new sculpt, or will it just be a reissue of the Thanos that we got before as a deluxe figure? Juggernaut is a single release. So again, we've gotten several good Juggernauts in the line already. Will it be just a reissue of one of those with some new accessories? They tease, you may recall one of the previous live streams, they teased the effect, when he's running, the blast effect that will go on that. So obviously that's something that will be included for the first time. As I said, Gargantos, which is for those of us who are familiar with the game, I believe will be Shu McGorth. And this is the one I'm most excited about because, again, we've never gotten this character before in the Marvel Legend line. Basically, it was the Marvel versus Capcom video game that made this character, known, I think. Obviously, there was a Shu McGorth in the comics. There was also a Gargantos in the comic. They're actually in the comics two different characters. But again, I believe they're very similar looking, and I believe Gargantos is what they'll be naming the figure due to trademark issues. But that's the one I'm most excited about. Now, we've got two additional 2-packs that, from what I've seen, will actually have the Gamerverse label on it, which is a Captain America versus Venom 2-pack and a War Machine versus Omega Red. So again, figures that we've gotten, including, War Machine obviously had a pretty unique look in the Marvel versus Capcom video game, but we've already gotten that version of War Machine in the Marvel Legend line before, so I don't know if it'll just be a reissue of that figure or what. And we've gotten Omega Red as well. So, we've gotten Venom many times, Captain America. So again, I don't know if these will be primarily reissues or what. That's something we might find out tomorrow. I've said this before, but I just want to be very, very clear because, again, as people call this Marvel versus Capcom, the most important thing to note here is there is no Capcom in these assortments. It is all just Marvel characters. Hasbro does not have the rights to do any of the Capcom characters, so it is just Marvel, which is probably why they're not calling it like Marvel versus Capcom. But I've seen some people like, oh, I can't wait to see what Capcom figures they're going to give us in this line. And when I read comments on social media and stuff, so. Again, just note if you want Capcom figures, you'll need to look at like Jada Toys or Storm Collectibles and their arena figures. Might be a good look, but something to look at. But again, no Capcom figures coming from Hasbro, just Marvel. Now, will that be it? Are those the only things we're going to see? I don't know. We talked about other things that I think are possible either for tomorrow's live stream or at San Diego Comic-Con, including the next wave of X-Men 97 figures. So is that something we might see tomorrow? I don't know. Since it looks like they are doing Marvel versus Capcom tomorrow, or at least some of them. I don't know how much additional stuff that we will get. Obviously, Fantastic Four. Obviously, at least some Marvel versus Capcom. Everything else might be, they might hold off until San Diego Comic-Con in July, which, again, as I've said before, at least based on what Hasbro's told us previously, I think this will be the last live stream they do for Marvel until San Diego Comic-Con. But again, just to recap, it was reported on these back in November. But the next wave, third wave of X-Men 97 figures should include Morph, Jubilee, Emma Frost, Cable, Robert DaCosta, and Logan in his casual gear. So these images are just for references, whether it's Cable in his blue outfit or Cable in the yellow and blue outfit, which we just got a figure of. So I don't know. It seems like maybe they go back to the blue one, but I have no idea. Sunspot, will he be powered on? Will he be human form? Will he be wearing civilian clothes? Again, I don't know. Logan probably will be wearing this outfit that he always wears on the cartoon when he's not in his costume. Emma Frost should be one of the figures. Jubilee, I assume, would be your classic look, but again, I couldn't say that for sure. So again, these images are just for reference, but at some point we should be, whether it's tomorrow or in July, we should be seeing the next wave of X-Men 97 Marvel Legend figures. I talked about previously, we should be getting an announcement soon about a new subline combining Magic the Gathering with Marvel Legends. Basically, Spider-Man figures that will include some type of Magic cards with them. So, these are just essentially Spider-Man figures, but the connection is will include some type of card. There's the new Magic the Gathering Spider-Man card set, and so some variant, I'm guessing, of those cards will be included with the figures. Whether we see that announced tomorrow, again, I don't know. That might be something they hold off until San Diego Comic-Con. In fact, I could definitely see them maybe, especially again since we're getting the Marvel versus Capcom stuff, probably tomorrow, holding off on that until July. But that's something that I suspect we will be seeing in the near future. More on that. Another thing, obviously, they teased the Shanna, the She-Devil figure a couple of weeks ago. We still don't know how or where or when this is going to be released, so we might get more details on this figure. I am still, and this is just purely a guess, I don't know, but my gut feeling says San Diego Comic-Con exclusive of some type. So, we'll just have to see. But I have a feeling we'll probably get more details on this one tomorrow as well. While we're on this subject of Marvel, we'll just again just had the McFarlane toy show, so a couple of new posed statue figures for 110 and 1/6. So for 110, we're getting another Deadpool and Wolverine. So these are 110, or are those 110? Oh yeah, and then for 1/6 is Silver Surfer. And Spider-Man, based on Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man #1 that he did, when he started, his first real jaunt into writing, when Marvel gave him his own Spider-Man book, so back in the 90s. So those are coming. I don't think there's much else I have for you on the Marvel front. Let me talk about this. So for you comic book fans, just announced yesterday, we are getting, for the first time in a long time, a new crossover event between Marvel and DC. So it is teaming up Deadpool and Batman. So there are two versions being released, one through Marvel and one through DC. So the Marvel one has Deadpool's name at the top and Batman's at the bottom. Artwork for this cover is Greg Capullo. And then there's also, as I said, a DC one, which you can see Batman's logo on the top, and Deadpool, which is got art by Dan Mora. So a newer artist, but one that people seem to really like. Grant Morrison is doing the writing, at least on the DC version. Zeb Wells working on the Marvel version. Some additional creators are to be announced for this series. So I've seen Mark Miller talking, he was teasing on his Facebook page over the past week or so about a Marvel DC project that he was working on. So I assume this is probably what he was talking about, but I guess we'll have to see. But again, it's been a while since we've gotten a Marvel DC crossover in the comics, and that is coming. November and July and September when these are supposed to be released. The DC one is in November, the Marvel one is in September. So pretty cool. I would love to see, if Hasbro could negotiate some kind of special deal to make figures based on this comic series, Marvel Legend figures, giving us our first Batman Marvel Legend figure. That would be really cool. I'm not saying I think it's going to happen. In fact, I doubt it would happen. But it would be cool if Hasbro could make something like that work, giving us, a limited DC figure under the Marvel Legends banner. But like I say, I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Yojo June live stream has been announced. So we talked about this last week. So I told you that I was expecting a G.I. Joe live stream to happen early next week. I was thinking maybe either on the second or third Monday or Tuesday of next week, because I told you, as I told you before, there are new G.I. Joe classified pre-orders coming on June 4th, but it looks like the live stream is the same day as the pre-orders. That means all the official images will end up leaking out either the night before or that morning. That's usually what it means. But nevertheless, the live stream will be taking place at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And as I said, pre-orders will go up at retailers at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So just to recap, again, I told you this last week, but I expect to see for the first time, we're going to get some figures that Hasbro has not announced or given us renders to. So Wetsuit and Flash, the Laser Trooper Flash, I believe will be new figures going up for pre-order. That mobile missile system with the General or the Colonel Hawk figure that they did show a render for a while back, that I think is going to go up on next week. And originally that was announced to be an Amazon exclusive, but it's possible that might end up being released at other places. I won't say 100%, but I've seen some indications we might see that beyond just Amazon. So there are some other figures that they've shown us renders for: a green shirt figure, retro cardback bat, or two. There's also the All Striker that they've shown us renders for. So I don't know if any of that stuff will be going up for pre-order next week as well, but it's possible. I believe a Cobra Night Trooper is another figure that we can expect to see next week. So again, next week, June 4th, which is Wednesday, is going to be a big G.I. Joe day, I guess, kicking off Yo Joe June. Though beyond next week, I don't know how much more we'll get for G.I. Joe stuff. But again, technically June is Yo Joe June, and we got the live stream on June 4th. So, and then pre-orders following that at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We'll save McFarlane for last. McFarlane, a new NECA store exclusive Texas Chainsaw Massacre 7-inch scale 50th anniversary ultimate poster Leatherface figure. That's gone up on the NECA store, so you can get that now. Again, this is being offered as a NECA store exclusive, part of their Monster Mayhem. So they've definitely been giving Leatherface a lot of love and attention. I'm not sure they have the licenses for like Freddy Krueger anymore, or even Jason from Friday. It's been a while. It's been a long while since I think we've seen any new products from some of their other horror properties, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre they're definitely still doing. Some of these Target Holothon figures that were not Target exclusives are now starting to go up at pre-order. So from the Mirage Comics, we've got the Hunter Leo, Old Man Raphael, and Handyman Donatello. Those are now available at Big Bad Toy Store. They do have a higher price, $41.99. Thank you, tariffs. Also, the Count figure is available as well. So if you missed out on that one at Target, that one sold out at Target. I think it'd be pretty hard pressed to find at physical stores as well. NECA store might have this available a little bit cheaper. I think it's $35 on the NECA store, but then I think you got to pay a fair amount for shipping. I forget what NECA's shipping, but I don't think it's less than $4, which is what Big Bad Toy Store shipping is. So probably equates to, at the end of the day, about the same price. But definitely was cheaper if you could have gotten it at Target, but now Big Bad Toy Store and NECA, maybe I think Nerdzoic just put them up today. I haven't looked at their prices, so you might check them out too if you want this one. It is a cool figure. I got it from my wife. I was able to pick it up from Target, so it is definitely a cool figure. NECA teased something here. Obviously, that's the party van, which is not new. You can see mine behind me here. But they posted this image as a teaser. It's the party van at the beach. The only thing really new here are the surfboards on top. So could that be Hawaiian shirt turtles that they're going to be doing? Could it be some type of new accessory pack? I don't know. But something coming. that they were teasing with this image. So when we find out, I'll be sure to let you guys know. This one, this is, this isn't a new figure, but I believe it had sold out previously, and let me see if it looks like it's sold out again. This was available the other day, this deluxe foot soldier figure, but it looks like it has sold out again. So don't worry about that. So that's all I have for you really on the NECA front. Salome has joined us here. Mezco, for you 112 Collective fans, has a Mezco store exclusive, a new the Shadow figure Street and Smith capsule set. It's going to cost you $175. So if you're into the Shadow, you might want to check this one out. Actually, it looks like it's already gone to the wait list, so you can still join the wait list for this one, but initial pre-orders look like have sold out. But again, for you Shadow fans, you can join the wait list and hopefully get another shot at that one. As I said, that one is a Mezco store exclusive. Jump ahead here a little bit. Past all the McFarlane stuff from this morning. We'll come back to that. If you still haven't gotten a trouble bubble or you want more trouble bubbles, let me just make sure it is still available. Okay, it is. So these are non-mint, meaning the boxes are probably going to be dinged up a little bit. But because they're not mint, Entertainment Earth is selling these cheaper than the original retail price, which was $44.99. But then they're still right now running their Memorial Day sale, where they're giving you 15% off on any in-stock item. So it's a lower price to begin with, and then you can get the 15% discount because it is in stock. And then if you buy more than one, if you buy like two, I believe it's $79. If you spend more than $79, you get free shipping in the United States. So if you bought two of these, like I said, if you wanted to army build this thing, this seems like a pretty good deal to me. So you might want to check that out again from our sponsor, Entertainment Earth, for you G.I. Joe fans. Oh, also on GI Joe, this week we Hasbro started sending out their emails that they always do, saying that the Haslab, in this particular case, the Cobra Rattler Haslab, is going to be shipping fairly soon. I won't say like in the next week, but probably in the next month or so. So they want everyone to make sure that the address on their account is up to date, so when they send them out, it goes to the right place. But usually, like I say, when they start sending that email out, it's we're looking at maybe a month or so, and it'll ship out to different people at different times. But late June is what they're saying for U.S. and Canada. Asia, late June, UK and EU, July. So again, for those of you, including myself, who back the Cobra Rattler, that is going to be shipping out soon, unless it gets delayed for some reason. But just note, that's probably coming soon. And I would guess we'll get the reveal for the next HasLab at San Diego Comic-Con. That's when they revealed the Rattler last year. So I'm guessing that's when the next G.I. Joe HasLab would be revealed. Also, here's some images from Marvelous Action Figure Pose. A lot of people have asked to see a comparison between the new Arena Street Fighter figures, the 112 Street Fighter figures from Storm Collectibles, next to Jada Toys figures. So, here's a comparison for those who are curious. So I'd say the Storm one looks pretty good. It is a little more expensive than Jada, but not too much. These run, $35. Tariffs might increase that a little bit more, but overall look pretty good. So just want to let you know that. And again, the Arena figure is available, $26.99 actually for this one. So it is available for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. I guess it could go up depending on where tariffs are when it actually comes through the ports. But there you go. For you Jurassic Park fans, these are not yet available online, at least not here in the United States, but they have started to hit physical stores based on the new Rebirth movie. So this one's pretty cool, but I wanted to actually take you to this one, the Disastrous Rex figure, which many have pointed out looks something that you would see in an Aliens movie. And in fact, they designed it kind of as a nod to Geiger's Alien Designs. So it's not a coincidence that this looks like something from an Aliens movie. It does appear in the new movie, the Rebirth movie. We saw it in the latest trailer. So that's coming from Mattel again, hitting physical stores, but not yet available online here in the United States. But I do expect you'll be able to get it soon. Or, like I say, you could probably go into Target and Walmart and start to see it. Nothing really on the Masters of the Universe front this weekend. The Despera figure did go up for pre-order on the Mattel Creations website. Looks like it's still available if you want to get it. $20. Not really much else. I will tell you, I've heard some rumblings about what we might expect to see from Masters of the Universe for next year. I won't say this is 100% confirmed, but from what I'm hearing, 2000X Origin figures. Origins, looks like it's going to delve into 2000X era of design. Masterverse is going to be focusing a lot on obviously the live action movie. And then supposedly there's going to be a new kids line, probably also tying into the movie, but like a completely new line that is really geared more for the kids and everything. So that'll be interesting to see. Obviously, like Mondo is going to be doing more expensive 112 scale 2000X Masters of the Universe figures. We've talked about that before, but it looks like Mattel is going to be giving us cheaper Origins. It'll be curious to see which does better, the cheaper ones or the more detailed but more expensive. And still don't know what the price will be on the Mondo figures. Should be cheaper than real Ghostbusters, but how much so, I don't know. One other thing I wanted to share with you guys. So we've got new Robocop figures. These are from JFS Toys, which I'm honestly not terribly familiar with, but these did go up for pre-order at our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store this week. These are 7-inch figures, so they will fit it. They should fit in with either the old McFarlane Robocop, or the newer NECA Robocop figures that they did. But nobody ever gave us the villains from the Robocop movie, which is what this JFS toy company is doing. So these are not cheap. 67 bucks for these things. But again, if you're a huge Robocop fan and you've always wanted the villains in figure form, these are articulated figures. They have various accessories. I don't think we get like burnt off face accessories, unfortunately. But again, you do get pretty cool accessories with this one. So you get bloodied up face, head sculpts. So there's a full gallery of images if you want to get a closer look at these on TNI. But like I say, they're not cheap. I have no idea what the quality is like on these because I'm not familiar with this company. But they look pretty good in the images. The likenesses look pretty good. So, like I say, if you've ever wanted the villains from RoboCop to go along with your, whoever, we've had multiple companies do RoboCop, but we never get the villains until now. So, again, these are 7.5 inch tall figures, so they should fit in with either the NECA or McFarlane RoboCop figures that have been released in the past. All right, let's delve into the McFarlane stuff. So this morning we got a wave of new pre-orders, which this is the collector edition Hawk Girl figure. This did not go up at Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know why, but they are not carrying this figure. So Amazon had it. It sold out pretty quickly. Walmart had it. It sold out even quicker there. GameStop had it. Last time I checked, it did not look like, I don't know if it had sold out or if they just never made it available. It said unavailable, didn't say sold out. So, and I haven't rechecked GameStop. And then the McFarlane store, last time I checked earlier this morning, they still had it. And you can buy a whole case because there is a platinum edition version of this figure. So this is the platinum version. So McFarlane's store had a whole case where you could be assured to get the platinum figure if you wanted, or you can get the luck of the draw. This figure has been out at physical stores. I forget whether it was Target or Walmart, but some people have found these figures at physical stores, so you can check there. But again, Hot Girl sold out like we've seen with all the recent McFarlane stuff. Sold out in just a few minutes. And again, wasn't even available at Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth for some reason. And then the other pre-orders today were Superman movie related. So the Lex Luthor, the deluxe theatrical edition Lex Luthor with Baby Kaiju, the Ultraman figure, and there's two versions of Ultraman that are getting released. There's the regular version, and then there's going to be a gold label Walmart exclusive version. We'll get to that more here in just a second. This is the regular version of Ultraman. I think these are still available. I haven't checked. I mean, they didn't sell out instantly, but I didn't look right because I was busy. I didn't have a chance to check and see if they've sold out anywhere. For you DC superhero collectors, there's this multi-box set. This is another Walmart exclusive. Let's see if it's still available. It does look like it is still available. So this has Metamorpho, Ultraman, Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Superman. So you can buy all these figures separately, but again, you can buy it as a multi-box set that's exclusive to Walmart. The vinyl figures that are in the same style as Todd Mods, but I guess technically are not Todd Mod figures. Baby Joey, the Baby Kaiju, and Metamorpho. And I did some research, and it looks like Baby Joey is, I guess, the son of Metamorpho. So, we saw this, we talked about this Baby Joey figure last week, but it looks like, at least in the comics, Baby Joey is the son of Metamorpho, which I assume will be the same for the movie, but I guess we'll just have to find out to know for sure. Those are available everywhere. There's a single release of the DC Superpowers Ultraman, so again, you don't have to buy the multi-set if you don't want to. And then the T-Craft for DC Superpowers. So those, again, are available everywhere. The other DC Superpower Superman movie figures went up for pre-order a few weeks ago, but the gold label Fortress of Solitude. So a few weeks ago, we got the regular version that had a picture of the robot on the packaging, but was not actually included with the set. But now we have the gold label set that has the robot number 4. The robot number 4 with this gold label version is actually included. So I don't know why you'd buy the regular version without the robot. But this is I think it's available in the McFarlane store, but also on Walmart for $50. So if you want to get that, again, if I was going to buy this, I would buy the one with the robot figure in it. And I believe that's the only way, at least for now, that's the only way to get the robot number 4 figure. So yeah, that's today's pre-orders. And then, as I said, we had the McFarlane Toy Show with reveals. So first of all, this is the gold label version of Ultraman. They're calling it Battle Damaged. It's got more black to it. It's got different goggles, so different head sculpt than the regular version. It was announced during the McFarlane Toys store or Toys show that this would be offered as a Walmart exclusive. It is not yet available for purchase. However, there is a placeholder page on Walmart's website. So I believe this will be for the gold label version. You can see this is the regular version that is available on Walmart. This is, again, available everywhere. But the gold label one is not yet available. But again, that will be a Walmart exclusive. So that was, they gave us that information. Market calendars for the next Target event, Target Collector event, which will be taking place in June. So the next summer Geek Out event will kick off on June 13th, according to McFarlane. So, it's not just McFarlane stuff that goes up during that event, but June 13th is when they said Target Geek Out. I assume they meant that's when the summer Geek Out event begins, not when their stuff is going up, but in that time frame is when the next Geek Out event. So they will have a couple of items available during the Geek Out event. The next Batman animated series wave, which will have for the first time in that line a Jonah Hex Build-A-Figure, and then also the Kite Man figure that you may recall they showed off at WonderCon, or announced at WonderCon. They showed a render that is also going to go up during the Geek Out event. So the next Batman animated series wave has this Batman, Killer Croc, Ra's al Ghul, and then, like I say, for the first time in the line, Jonah Hex, and that's the Build-A-Figure. So the Bruce Wayne Build-A-Figure wave was pretty hard to find. That sold out really quick online, and then it's kind of been hit or miss for people finding the entire wave. Poison Ivy seems like the easiest one to find in that wave, but the next wave again will be going up next month. And then, like I say, Kite Man is also going to be a Target store exclusive. So joining the Superman Lionhead figure, which I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up going up during the Geek Out event as well. That has not yet been made available or hit Target store, so I wouldn't be surprised if that goes up next month as well. Just for those of you who might not know what I'm talking about when I say Lionhead Superman or Big Head Superman. This one here, part of the collector edition, based on the Strange Lives of Superman. You get all these different heads with this figure, but this was announced the other day as a Target store exclusive. So I wouldn't be surprised. They didn't say specifically that it would, but I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't end up going up the same time as Kite Man. And same thing with this new 52 Superman. Again, was announced as a Target store exclusive here in the United States. So that may be going up as well, even though, again, they didn't specifically call that one out during the toy show. All right, let's jump back into the rest of the reveals. So, kind of disappointing Kite Man's a Target store exclusive. They also announced the next wave of 6-inch Super Friend figures, the retro Super Friend figures. So these are not Target store exclusives. I'm guessing one of these will be a Red Platinum figure, though. Riddler was the Red Platinum in first wave. They did not specifically call any of these out as Red Platinum figures, but I suspect since Wave 1 had a Red Platinum, there'll be at least one Red Platinum in this wave. And I'm thinking it's either going to be Toyman here, We have Captain Cold in the wave. Cheetah. This would be my second pick for a red platinum if there is one. Cheetah. We know how Todd is with female figures, and then Flash. And finally, in wave 2 is Superman, which has a kryptonite ball and chain that can go on it. So that's your next wave of retro 6-inch Super Friends figures. So they talked about Elite Edition figures that have cards with QR codes that will take you to a site where you can build up points and then buy stuff or do giveaways. The first figure was the Doom Slayer figure that went up the other week and pretty much sold out everywhere. They did suggest that they would be making some more of those available when they come in stock. I don't know where, probably at physical stores, but the second, or not necessarily second, but one of the next Elite Edition figures they're doing is this Lilith figure from Diablo 4. So this should be an articulated figure, not like the previous Diablo figures they've done. I'm pretty sure at least. We'll see more of this figure next month during the IGN live event, but I believe this will actually be an articulated figure from Diablo 4. This is not an Elite figure, but they did show a new Doom Slayer figure. This is a regular release figure. So this guy is pretty massive. So I guess this would probably fall under the mega figure category. The Atlan armor is what they called it. So I've not played the game, so I don't know the names of all these armors. But again, that is coming to the line. Again, that is not an Elite Collection figure. It is just a regular figure, a regular 7-inch scale, though not obviously it's bigger than 7 inches figure that they're doing. They didn't call it a mega figure, but just looking at the size, I'm guessing that's what it's going to fall under. For movie Maniacs, Jaws, this kind of recreates the movie poster from the first Jaws movie. And then Dwight from The Office, this is a 6-inch, no real articulation, but a 6-inch scale figure. So if you're a big Office fan, this is joining, Dwight will be joining the movie Maniacs line. Some new Warhammer 40K figures. It's a new wave coming out, 5 figures, 2 of which will be artist edition figures, ones without paint. So I'm going to show you the images first, but again, I'm not a big Warhammer guy, so I got to go back and read the names. But Lieutenant and Phobes armor, Space Marine, Blood Angels, Assault, and Intercessor Sergeant figure. Both of those will have the artist proofs. And then finally from Imperial Fists, another Intercessor Sergeant figure. So those are the 5 figures, again, 2 of which are artist editions. So really 3 figures with 2 variants in that wave. And no word exactly on when that's going to go up for pre-order. We already talked about the Marvel figures. Back to where we were on the images. So like I said, we already went over the Marvel stuff. Dark Archer, so getting back to DC Collector Edition figures, this should be available everywhere. So Dark Archer, Green Arrow's arch nemesis. I think the Star, I forget what they call these guys. Dark Stars. So those, they gave us a preview at WonderCon, but those should be coming soon. I'm guessing these will go up for pre-order next month. They announced a new Batmobile from the DC Rebirth series. So this is a pretty, this is comic book based, but this is, I think what a lot of people think of when they think of a comic book based Batmobile. So this is coming to the DC Multiverse line. They also said that they would be re-releasing DC Rebirth Batman figure with a soft goods cape to sit inside the Batmobile. It will be a separate offering, should release at the same time as the Batmobile. They didn't say anything about whether there'd be a gold label version and a regular version or anything like that. So for now, we'll just go with there's going to be one regular version. And then if you want a Batman figure to go with it, that will be offered separately and should go up at the same time as the Batmobile. A new resin King Spawn statue they showed off. Didn't show off any new Spawn figures. That was basically it for reveals. And like I say, we should get our next round of McFarlane reveals should come on June 8th. They said June 8th is when their segment on the IGN Live event, which, it's the thing IGN does periodically. But we should get some new reveals, including that Lilith Diablo 4 figure. We should get a good look at that. And then, of course, July will be San Diego Comic-Con. They said they like said multiple times in the show that they've got a lot more stuff coming this year and into next year. Obviously they lose the DC license sometime next year, about midway through the year. So, but they keep, they've got a lot of stuff coming for DC between now and then. So we'll see what they show at, hopefully I'm guessing they'll have a lot to show at San Diego Comic-Con this year. And we talked about this, I think maybe last Friday, somebody asked, I don't expect Mattel to show anything for DC at San Diego Comic-Con this year. They take over the license for collector stuff sometime midway point of next year. So I expect the earliest that we would see anything from Mattel for DC and what they're doing, getting any real insight to their plans for collector-oriented stuff for DC. I don't expect that to come until, early next year, probably February timeframe. But I do, because McFarlane will be continuing to do some DC stuff into next year as their license expires, like at around halfway, then into the year next year. I don't expect Mattel to be showing off anything new at San Diego this year for DC stuff. My guess is Mattel's major focus will be the Masters of the Universe live action movie. That's what they'll be focusing on mostly. Obviously, WWE will be another big focus, but my guess is this year at San Diego for Mattel, it's going to be all about the new Masters of the Universe live action movie. All right, well, I think that brings us up to date. Let me go back and see what you guys, I know I covered a lot there. Maurice, good morning to you. Let's see. It'll be Shumagorath in my house. Yeah, I mean, we'll all call him Shumagorath. I just think on the actual packaging, he'll be Gargantos. And I really hope, I mean, again, I don't know if Hasbro will show everything tomorrow, but I really hope Shumagorath is one that we get to see tomorrow. Mr. Fuller says Shuma and Psylocke Thanos are the only ones I'm interested in for this wave. Yeah, I think I feel like there's a good chance Psylocke will be like on the most recent female body, kind of like the probably the same body as the Shanna figure. So I figured that one will be popular. The Thanos, like that one, I don't know if they'll be, if that'll just be almost like a straight up re-release. But I feel like with the Psylocke, that'll be on a new body. Elio, what is up? Marvel versus Capcom, just don't call it that. And the only reason why I get hesitant about calling it Marvel versus Capcom is because then you've always got somebody who's like, but where are the Capcom figures? And it's just like, yeah, it's not that. I mean, it's not like we haven't gotten Marvel versus Capcom base figures in the Marvel Legend line. We've gotten War Machine, we've gotten Iron Man with the cannon, which you can see behind me. We've gotten several others. That Cable that they did in the yellow and blue, that's pretty much Marvel versus Capcom Cable. Morrow is a character from the game. So those are all, basically figures based on the game. And just like those didn't have the Marvel vs. Capcom logo on them, that's pretty much what I expect to see with these. And I have no idea what the price will be, so I am dreading that a little bit. I do expect they will be on the higher side, especially, figures like Shumagorath. But Shumagorath, I'm guessing will at least be $50, if not more. Yes, the Marvel live stream starts at 11 a.m. We will, of course, have full coverage up on Marvelous News as it happens, if you can't catch the actual stream. And then I'll be back on Friday to talk about everything that does actually end up getting revealed. I'm sure there'll be 20 other between tomorrow after the live stream ends and when I do my next show on Friday. I'm sure there'll be 50 other YouTube videos up there, up online of people talking about everything that's revealed. But I'll share my insights and my thoughts on everything on Friday. Does the count have been? Yes. I'm pretty sure it does. It's up in my wife. My wife has like a whole shelf of like Sesame Street figures now because we've been getting all the Super 7 Reaction Sesame Street figures. She already had some. She has the Super Grover from Palisades. I don't know if you guys remember those Sesame Street figures from that company, but she has the Super Grover with the telephone booth and everything. I got her that back when that figure first came out. And then she's got Bert and Ernie and now Count from NECA. She has the Lego Sesame Street set. So, as I've said before, she's a huge Sesame Street fan. Felix, Mattel will have see, I don't know. I mean, remember, Hasbro and Mattel have been collaborating quite a bit recently. Those rivals are not what they used to be. So, hell, it would be cool if Hasbro could do a Marvel Legends set with Batman and Deadpool, and then Mattel, under whatever their new DC line is, did their own version of Batman and Deadpool. So like we got versions from each company. That would be cool for me as well. But like I say, the rivalry between Mattel and Hasbro, they've been collaborating on stuff. Play-Doh, we got those Secret Wars Mattel card backs here recently. So I don't think that's near as an impediment that you might think. It would be more of Disney and Warner Brothers willing to let it happen, I feel like, than Mattel and Hasbro. Felix says, very nice looking Ken. I can get those effects for my Jada. I'll be happy. Jay says, Ken at 20 versus Ken at 50. Talking about the prices, I guess, between Storm and Jada. It's not quite 50, but it's definitely cheaper than the first round, the more expensive Storm collectibles. I mean, for me, I'm sticking with Jada. It's not that I have anything against Storm. I like the Jada figures, and I don't need like multiple from different companies. So Jada is what I've started collecting. So that's pretty much what I'm sticking with. And when I get the Shumagorath figure, I definitely am going to find a place for it back here to display with my other figures. I don't know. Yeah, but I got a whole setup of figures back there for both Street Fighter and Marvel Legends for my Marvel and my Capcom. So Shumagorath, I will definitely find a place for. Now, Shumagorath is probably the only one I personally will get, unless, like the others, since they're all figures that we've gotten in some shape or form before, they would have to really like blow my socks off. Like even like the Psylocke, I could be tempted, but then if the Thanos is primarily just a reissue, do I really need another Psylocke that badly? I don't know. But Shumagorath, even if it's $50 or more, I definitely will get that one. I will be curious to know whether Shumagorath has like articulated tentacles, will it be bendy wire tentacles? It'll be interesting to see how they actually design that figure. Oh, you know what? I don't know if you guys have noticed back here. So I got my Maximum Hulk figure, which I decided to display on my Dragonfly here. So just my quick thoughts on it. Actually, it's a pretty fun figure. I do worry a little bit about the rubber material on his chest, how well that's going to hold up over the years. That's my biggest concern about the figure. The head sculpts actually, to me, end up looking better than I thought. So I didn't have any major complaints with the head sculpts on that one. Like I said, my biggest fear is with that rubber material that they did so that I can get him to clap his hands, but I do worry about that material holding up over time. So, but that's something, is kind of just have to wait and see. But I definitely had some fun with him. I think he looks good there, getting ready to throw his missile at the Dragonfly helicopter. So that's where I've decided to display my Maximum Hulk figure that arrived from Big Bad Toy Store last week. Navinger, they could make a documentary about wacky and awful McFarlane distribution. How wacky and awful yeah, I don't know. I've said this before. What it strikes me is McFarlane decided here this year that he wanted to try and drive people into physical stores. From where I've kind of seen, it's like he's almost giving the middle finger to online retailers, either not offering the figure. I mean, I can't say for sure that he didn't offer the Hawk Girl to places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth, but I feel like that's probably, if they had been offered to them, that they wouldn't have taken and sold it. So I feel like it just wasn't offered to them, only offered to the big retailers. And then everything online has been seemingly very limited because it sells out so quickly. And everything is showing up at physical stores before online. In many cases, even has the pre-orders up. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that, but it definitely is annoying. Trying to figure it out. Like, yeah, it was only because of a guy on Instagram, SB Toys, that we'd even learned about the gold label version of Ultraman. Because I mean, they did finally announce it today during the live stream, but that was kind of like totally random. Just all of a sudden, hey, here's a second version of Ultraman. I think what annoys me the most is the whole red label platinum figures, which for the most part translates to figures that are only sold at physical retail. Maybe if you order a case or something, you might get a shot at it online. But for the most part, it seems like the red platinum figures are only being offered to be sold at physical retail stores. So that to me, I find the most annoying about everything that McFarlane's been doing with their releases and distributions this year. And they're terrible about communicating what's a red platinum figure, what's not a red platinum figure, what's an exclusive, what's not an exclusive. Um, they're just very bad with been very bad with all of that. In the comics, sometimes Ultraman looks different than Superman. It'd be hilarious if Henry Cavill was Ultraman. Snyder Bros would cry. I've actually seen some people suggest that, like, when they pull the mask off of Ultraman, and I've seen a lot of different theories or rumors or whatever about who's under the Ultraman mask, but I've seen people float the idea, which I think would be hilarious if it ended up being Henry Cavill. Felix says always disliked the animated Croc. Davey Sockrocket says I lied. I need that Kite Man. See, what I want to know is if you throw Kite Man, will he glide through the air? Will the kite actually work? That would be cool if they pulled. I doubt it. The figure's probably too heavy, but that would be cool if they made it so he would actually glide if you threw when you threw him. Symbol Nation, someone will use the big head on that Superman figure for MTV oddities. Judge Dreads needs the Titano. Avenger, these are all I wanted from Superpowers. I say I passed on the Superpower. I got the Batman, the 66 Batman figures, which is the same style, but I did not get the first wave of Super Friend figures. If they ever did like a Hall of Justice or Hall of Doom playset, then I'd go get those figures. But I don't, even though we got like playsets and vehicles with the 66 Batman stuff, I feel like there's not a big chance we'll see that with the superpowers. An invisible jet for Wonder Woman, that would be another one that, assuming they do Wonder Woman. Like we've got Cheetah, but we don't have Wonder Woman yet. Felix says does need an updated Psylocke. Rich says we all need an updated Psylocke. Felix says Hasbro would forget the wire keep on Batman. No, Figure Fury says I ended up ordering from McFarlane store, and hate myself a little bit for it, but it must have for me. I assume you're talking about Hot Girl, because Hot Girl was the or McFarlane store was the and I haven't checked, like I said, since this morning, but it was it was definitely the last place to have it in stock. I don't know if it's still in stock there, but it was the last place to have it in stock. Ray says he's assuming that his only market is the U.S. Not everyone is in the U.S. and has access to Walmarts and Targets. Even then, distribution is a crapshoot. That's true, though I will tell you, like anything that's a Target exclusive ends up going up on either Amazon Canada or Amazon GameStop or now Electronic Boutique, or both. Honestly, we see a lot of the McFarlane, like we find out more about McFarlane figures from them showing up overseas than we do from McFarlane himself. So I don't know. Overseas almost sometimes seems like, I mean, obviously overseas is not just one's place, but some places overseas definitely seem to get McFarlane stuff in quicker, and in better numbers than we do here in the U.S. Reese says he expects Ultraman to be Bizarro, and he's wearing the suit to stop from being mutated by. I've seen, that's a theory I've seen. I've never really connected Ultraman with Bizarro, but I have seen that theory thrown out there online. Again, a Bizarro Superman played by Henry Cavill, that would be pretty funny. All right, well, we've gone over the hour, and it's later than usual anyway because of had to going out on late due to the McFarlane Toy Show. So I think we're going to call it a day. But again, Marvel Legend fan stream tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Hopefully, we will get quite a few cool reveals. I don't really know how much. I think we can definitely count on Fantastic Four first step figures. You know what those will be. Whether it's just some or all of the Marvel versus Capcom stuff, we'll have to wait and see. Better be Shu McGorth, though. I want to see Shu McGorth. That's ever since the rumors first popped up last year about Marvel versus Capcom, that's the figure I've wanted to see. So hopefully that will definitely be shown tomorrow. Whether we see X-Men 97, Magic Spider-Man figures, or whatever else, maybe the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, maybe the Shanna the She-Devil, maybe they're one and the same. I don't know. We'll have to see. But, of course, as I said, we'll have everything as it happens up on Marvelous News with pictures and such. If you can't sit in for the live stream, we'll have a full recap over there. And then I'll be back on Friday after you've probably listened to 20 other YouTubers talk about the reveals. I'll share my thoughts about it on Friday. And then whatever else happens between now and Friday, we'll be talking then. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in today. Remember, if you're not an Action Figure Enthusiast member, it's pretty easy to do, just 99 cents. We've got 6 more we need to get to 60, and then we'll do another contest giveaway. If that happened between now and Friday, we'll do a contest giveaway on Friday. But I'm thinking more likely maybe next week. But again, just need 6 more to go until we get to 60. So anyone who hasn't already and thinking about it, check out that link below. And again, a big thank you to everybody who has become an Action Figure Enthusiast member. I really do appreciate it. All right, guys. So stay safe out there. Enjoy tomorrow's live stream. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to ToyNewsEye.com, MarvelousNews.com, JediInsider.com, and TFormers.com. And remember, action figures are great,